Hello friends, this is Durga from IT Varsity. As part of this video, I will be covering the first topic in CCS Spark and Hadoop Developer Exam, which is Cloudera Certified Associate using Spark and Hadoop Developer. And if you go through the syllabus, the first topic is data ingest, which means how we should load data into Hadoop. And then transform, stage, and store will talk about processing the data, and then the data analysis comes into picture. Again, as part of the data ingest, there are several things. One is importing data from a MySQL database into HDFS using Hadoop, and also there are other things like exporting and also using Flume and also detailed Hadoop file system commands. So as part of this video, I will be covering this first topic within the data ingest, which is importing data from a MySQL database into HDFS using Sqoop. Earlier, as part of this playlist, I have already demonstrated about Cloudera virtual machine itself. So first you need to log into the Cloudera virtual machine, and you need to make sure your virtual machine is up and running. You might not have access to this Cloudera manager if you do not have 8 GB to 10 GB RAM given to the virtual machine, but still you will be able to access and practice the topics that are relevant for the CCA certification. Cloudera manager is out of the scope of the CCA certification. Hence, even if the Cloudera manager does not work, does not come up, you can still validate whether Cloudera is up and running. Means the services such as HDFS, Sqoop, etc. are available and up and running by running simple commands such as ps-fu, ps-ef, grep -i manager. And if the resource manager is running, which is related to yarn and MapReduce, resource manager and node manager, this command will give you the details whether the process such as resource manager and node manager are running or not. You can see that resource manager is running in this case, and also node manager is running in this case. And also you can search for node, which will return the data node and name node as well as secondary name node. All these services have to be up and running, and also you can actually run the commands like ps-fu, HDFS, which will give the name node, data node, secondary name node. So all these three services run under user HDFS, and then ps-fu yarn to return the resource manager and node manager. These two are the mandatory stuff for most of the topics. And then if these two are running, at least we can start the first topic. As and when we encounter the new things, we will see the other process, how to validate whether they are up and running, so that you can actually run your commands to validate our scripts or programs that are developed using this VM. On top of that, HDFS and yarn, if you look at this, it also talks about MySQL database. Sqoop is a client-only tool, so there will not be daemon process running like this. As long as your HDFS and yarn is up and running, Sqoop command works without any issues. And also this requires MySQL database to be up and running. You can run directly MySQL -u retail underscore DBA -p. Retail underscore DBA is the username, and it will prompt for the password, and Cloudera is the password, and you will be in the database. I have emphasized about this as part of the earlier video as well. And then you can say use retail underscore DB and show tables, and you can see that there are 6 tables here. So the line item says import data from a MySQL database. So in this case, the database name is retail underscore DB into HDFS using Sqoop. So first we will create a directory under /user/Cloudera. So this is HDFS directory. I will not get into too many details about HDFS here. We will see HDFS in detail as part of the last item. So for now, just understand that there will be a directory within HDFS with this path /user/Cloudera. This is called as the namespace, and like Linux file system, HDFS is also a file system which will be distributed typically, but in this case, as we are using single node VM, everything will be on this VM itself. But if you look at look at this on a multi-node cluster, this distributed file system will be distributed across multiple data nodes in the cluster. Anyway, if you want to look into more details about HDFS, I already have videos on my channel, so you can go to my YouTube channel called ITversity, and as part of this there is a playlist called Hadoop MapReduce development, and here there are videos about HDFS in detail starting from 12 to 15. These 4 videos will give you all the details that are required for the developer certification. It covers more than that, but you can actually fall back on these videos if you want to understand more about HDFS before running our Sqoop command. So if you look at this, if you run this command Hadoop fs -ls, ls is to list the files, and -user /user/Cloudera is the path. So we are trying to access that path and try to list the files over there. So there are several files which I have created earlier. If you are running for the first time, you might not see any of these files under this location. For Sqoop import, I will create a new directory called Hadoop fs. The directory name will be Sqoop import, and -mkdir is to create the directory. So /user/Cloudera Sqoop_import and hit enter. Now it will create the directory with this name, and we will try to import the files into this location using Sqoop. So there are several options in Sqoop, and we will slowly see those options as part of this video, and also we will see other options also as part of the next video while we try to export data. So first let us understand what is a Sqoop import. Sqoop import is to get data from remote relational database, in this case a MySQL database, into HDFS. Okay, and to run Sqoop command, it starts with Sqoop, and if you want to see the help, you can actually say Sqoop help, and you will see different options under Sqoop. So if you see, the Sqoop have 3 import options. One is import, so you can import a single table from a database to HDFS, and the other one is Sqoop import all tables, which will facilitate you to import all the tables in the database. And then you can also do Sqoop import mainframe, where you can actually access the files or data from mainframe server to HDFS. In this case, as part of the demonstration, we will not be seeing examples for import mainframe, but we will see the other 2. Before running the Sqoop import command, let us evaluate that we can actually can connect to MySQL database using Sqoop command. For that, instead of running the import commands and all, you can actually run this information commands like list databases and list tables. List databases will list all the databases on a server, and list tables will list all the tables in a database. So the command will look like this: Sqoop list -databases. And if you are using Linux terminal like this, if you want to develop Sqoop command in a more readable fashion, yeah, towards the end you should type space and give backward slash and hit enter. So it's a Linux feature. You can type the command in multiple lines, and then you can say connect, and then you have to give the JDBC URL. It looks like this for MySQL. If you are using other databases, it will be a little bit different. But as our syllabus emphasizes on MySQL, we will try to focus on MySQL itself. So it requires the MySQL driver, and that comes as part of the VM itself. So we need not struggle about MySQL drivers. And even as part of the certification, I assume that you need not be worried about the jar files which are required to connect to the MySQL database using JDBC. So Sqoop will actually use JDBC to connect to the database, and then you can run several commands by connecting using JDBC. Then give space slash and hit enter, and then username retail underscore DBA, so the same user which we used to log in, and then password. In this case it's Cloudera, and hit enter. It will list the databases this user have access in the MySQL database. So this user have access to retail underscore DB and also information schema, which is just a system schema to maintain the metadata of the tables under this database called retail underscore DB or whatever other users. It's primarily for metadata. You don't need to be worried about information schema at all at this time. You only need to be worried about retail underscore DB. As long as you see this, that means your command is working without any issues. Now you can also run list tables to list the tables in this database. So for that you just have to copy and then connect. So when you try to list the tables, you have to give the database name as part of the URL slash. Our database name is retail underscore DB, username retail underscore DBA, and password Cloudera, and hit enter. Sorry, it is not retail underscore list databases, it is list tables. So Sqoop list minus tables, then this one, then this one, password Cloudera, and hit enter. You can see that it lists all the tables in the database. And also before running the import command, you might want to validate whether you have access to these tables or not. Sometimes even though it lists the tables, it might not it might not have privileges. The user retail underscore DBA might not have privileges to select data from these tables. It can happen. So for that reason, if you look at Sqoop help, we have seen list databases and list tables. The difference between list database and list table is that the connection string for list databases does not have the database here, and the command is list databases, whereas for list tables the command is list tables and you have to pass the database from which you want to list the tables. Username and password is same for both the cases. And now if you do Sqoop help, there are other commands also. for our purpose, for this first line item, import all tables are the important stuff. But for now, I am emphasizing about how to validate that we can connect to database and run several commands to validate that we have access against the tables which we want to import eventually. So even though they are not directly useful to import the data, they are very important to validate the necessary permissions before importing the data. So there is third command called eval. So eval, what you can do is you can actually evaluate a SQL statement and display the results. It could be a simple select statement, it could be insert, it could be update. You can even invoke a stored procedure using eval. And the command will look like this: sqoop eval. And then you have to give the connect string. And then username retail underscore DBA. Okay. And password Cloudera. And then you have to give query. Sorry. It should be minus here. And then you have to give query select star from departments. It is one of the tables which we can see when we actually run the list tables command. Okay, and then hit enter. Okay, there is a typo here. And then hit enter. You can see the data in the table. So you have the access to the database. You can access using sqoop command. We have validated using list databases and list tables, and also we have validated that we have access to the data also by running eval command. You can not only run select command using eval, you can run insert, update, delete, you can even invoke stored procedures or functions using eval command. That being said, that's it as part of this demo. As part of the next demo, I will show you how to do the import all tables and import table from this MySQL database into HDFS using sqoop command. But before wrapping up, I would like to emphasize on my GitHub account. So my GitHub account is D Gadiraju. So this is my GitHub account name, and in this there is a repository called code. You can go to the code, and there is a directory called Hadoop in the repository code, and in Hadoop there is a directory called EDW, and in this there is a directory called Cloudera, and there is a directory called Sqoop, and you can click on the sqoop_demo.txt. All the commands which I will be running as part of the demonstration will be available here. So you can go through this, and you can copy paste these commands and start practicing on your Cloudera VM. All you need is to have the Cloudera VM and follow my videos, follow my GitHub account, and still if you have any questions, you can either raise your questions in Stack Overflow, which I will be actively looking into. So if you go to stackoverflow.com, there is a tag called Sqoop. So you can just add a question in Stack Overflow and tag it as Sqoop, and I will try to answer as quickly as possible. And then I also have the LinkedIn group Hadoop Certifications. And here I will be publishing whenever I release a video or related videos on a particular topic of a Hadoop certification. So sign up or join this group, and we can have a conversation between all the certification aspirants as part of this group. This will be for all Hadoop certifications, not just for CCA, but this is the starting point. So make sure you go to LinkedIn, search for Hadoop certifications and send a request to join, and I will accept, and then we can start discussing on these topics going forward. That being said, I hope you will enjoy the content on my channel, especially on this topic. If you like this video, please click on the like button. If you want to provide feedback or ask any technical questions, please use the comment section of the video. And if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. You will get to see lot of content on vast area of technologies over time. Thank you. Bye.